New Year's resolutions are notoriously hard to stick to, and with so much disruption to our fitness regimes this year, and with gyms likely to be affected by lockdowns even into 2021, it's much harder than you ever set goals you can actually stick to. If you give up on your new fitness plan after about a week every January, you're not alone. But there are ways you can actually help maintain focus and motivate yourself well into the new year. And we're joined by Amanda Rushforth from Dubai to share some fitness tips to get you started. Now, Amanda, very good morning to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to Morning Live.
Good morning. Thank you for having me, and thank you to Zebra Square for the wonderful introduction.
Sure, it's a pleasure. And what are the best exercises to keep me fit and that I can actually try out at home?
I have to say, I found using a lot of bodyweight exercises really harder than using weights in the gym this time around. I really enjoyed using outdoor areas of the house that I haven't used before and indoor ones to practice everything from mobility, be it trying to teach myself something new. So during lockdown, I learned how to handstand. And that was really simply just following some YouTube videos and then finding an area in the house that I could really practice against, and then slowly moving my mat further and further away.
Okay.
And came out with, a new skill, which was just completely fun at the start, but really helped to, I think, build my motivation to keep going and then try other things.
Okay. And for those looking to start eating healthy, how would you advise them to go?
Eating healthy, I think everybody became a master chef over lockdown to some degree. Everyone tried new recipes. Everyone was sharing recipes. I'm not a cook. I'm not a chef in any way. And I think eating healthy started with a few ingredients that I enjoyed and seeing how I could put them together in ways that perhaps were a little less in quantity, a little more in flavor, and not trying to diet in any way, shape or form, but I think keeping the ingredients that I knew I would want to cook again were really important. So just playing around with, say, carrots and then finding 4 different meals that were very carrot heavy, for example, is a really good way to keep the healthy fitness and nutrition conversation going.
Yeah, indeed. And ideally, how many times a week is considered good enough to exercise?
During lockdown, we changed our views on exercise and health and fitness and nutrition. And I don't think there's a set number. I think whatever feels good for you, whatever feels good for you in your body, in your moment, we're all different. We're all different body types. We're all different body shapes, sizes, and abilities. And it can be as simple as going for a run. It can be as simple as going for a walk, even go for a fast walk.
Sure.
That can be just as rewarding as, somebody doing an hour's workout. So do something every day, something small, 30 minutes that just, even if it's a walk or you fancy, doing some squats while you brush your teeth, that's a really fun way of making sure you get that exercise in without overdoing it, without feeling stressed or anxious that you haven't done a workout and you see everyone else on Instagram doing something. Do what's right for you and in the space that you've got, because not everyone had that ability to have a home gym or, a big garden where they could go and, play football in. So it's really important to make sure that whatever you do, it's very, very small but consistent.
And speaking of home workouts, considering that not everybody can and will go to gym, so how do we track and access our fitness levels at home?
I actually got really hooked on those fitness watches, the trackers, but you can get steps counters. And I was determined to meet my steps every day, whether it was just walking up and down the stairs or, walking in a circle or going for a walk outside, whatever it was. I made sure that was my own little personal goal, was to meet the 10,000 steps a day.
Yes.
But in terms of tracking, there's so many different apps out there now that you can download, and just make sure you set realistic and you don't think that if you don't match one of them that day, if you don't meet those requirements, or you feel tired or you feel under the weather, that you're going to put stress on yourself. In that respect, make sure it's a goal that's accomplishable and make sure it's fun, because if it's not fun, we're never going to stick to it.
Now, Amanda, exercising is also good for clearing your mind. I know that after a very intense but nice workout, you feel good. don't you? I mean, what role does fitness play in people's mental health?
So I call them inner dolphins. You have the endorphins that your brain releases when you do a workout and you feel good. And I think if you make sure you hit those inner dolphins, get them whatever you're doing, whatever kind of form of workout, you're going to keep wanting to do it. You're going to keep being active in one way or another. It's really important, though, that when you are in a situation of lockdown or curfew or restricted movement, whether it's the size of your house, your apartment, or the space you're allowed to sort of be free in, that you don't feel anxiety with having not been active or having not reached any goals. It's okay if, the most movement you did that day was, get out of bed and go to the kitchen. And then, if you didn't meet your fitness requirements, whatever you set yourself that day, it's okay, because your body needs to rest. Your body does exactly what it's supposed to do for you. And being healthy and being fit is a mindset. So I think if you are able to set goals that realistically you can meet, beat, and keep setting on a daily basis, then you're going to keep those inner dolphins flowing.
All right. You also have an interest in fashion, or in the fashion industry, isn't it? What does sustainable fashion mean, Amanda?
Right, yeah. This is a big part of what I'm doing at the moment, is advocating for awareness around sustainable fashion. Now, sustainable fashion is predominantly material that's made out of natural fibers. It's material that doesn't release microfibers, or if it does, you're washing it in a way that you're collecting it in the washing machine through corables or guppy bags. And not many people realize that every time they wash material like from fast fashion brands, that they're collecting tiny little microfibers of plastic that go straight into the ocean every time they wash them. So I work with brands, and currently collaborating with a brand called By Marie, to create a collection that's all natural fibers. So we use 100% organic linen, organic Japanese silk, and we also give 5% of our proceeds to our local ocean conservation society called ASRAC. And in December alone, we raised 750 dirhams, which is great for a month's work during lockdown, where we've managed to help educate more than anything the conversation around choosing your fibers and not being sold on all these, fast-moving sales that we've had. For example, this is the shopping festival in Dubai right now, so everybody's out there looking for the bargains. But unfortunately, when your clothing costs less to buy than it costs to produce, you're on a bit of a sad track, because I think when you realize what actually went into that material, into the actual production of it, and the chemical dyes that go in, and unfortunately how that impacts the environment in even the manufacturing process, then you would automatically choose natural fibers with this education moving forwards. Natural fibers are also much, much healthier for your skin and for your body, so you're not going to harbor any unwarranted or nasty germs when you wear linens, and that's just linens, for example. But if if you're surrounding yourself in material that's not breathable, then imagine what your skin feels.
Sure.
So, advocating for much more awareness around the concept of sustainable fashion, and obviously its effect on the environment, specifically on the ocean, has been a massive goal of mine, and will continue to be moving forwards for 2021 too.
Amanda, you've so eloquently, shared with us the different dynamics and facets of the fashion industry. So what then should we look out for in order to be more conscious about fashion?
I'd say the first thing to do is read the label. So know the source. If you are, and we're not just talking about production, we're talking about the source of the material itself. If you understand that the material name is very chemically, and that's a very easy way to look at it, not a linen or a natural cotton or a natural silk, which we know are produced out in nature, or it's a percentage of which is then mixed with something else that's unfortunately a man-made fiber or fabric, then a percentage of it is going to be created in a way that has had a harmful effect on the environmental chain. So I'd say first and foremost, always check your labels and choose small, slow fashion brands. Now, slow fashion means a very small amount of the garments and not 400 of them in 20 different retail chains in your city alone. So supporting local designers, supporting small brands that are handmade as well. Normally you'll be able to ask the creator directly, where did they source the material from? What material is it? And know exactly the chain from manufacturing to production that goes with that too. And normally you'll be helping to support, small families in that respect as well. So there's so much more good that comes from shopping local and shopping small than getting that deal on the high street.
True, that's true. And for more fitness tips, where can people follow you? How do we connect with you?
Oh, I'm on Instagram at Amanda Rushforth and amandarushforth.com as well. But also follow ASRAC ME, who is the Ocean Conservation Society that I'm on the board of directors of here, and you'll be able to follow our new project, which is sustainable fashion, and hopefully giving it a bit more of the limelight.
All right, Amanda Rushforth, great chatting to you. Thank you so much for sharing your tips with us. We do appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a lovely day.
You too. Thank you. Well, it's all about how you set your goals and how you implement these lifestyle changes. We just spoke to Amanda Rushforth on top tips for setting effective fitness goals in the year 2021. All right, it is 4 minutes.